And Mr. Cahen and Shimon Peres, she was a nurse in the crash on the other side of the street, through which 600 children were saved. And her grandson,
what's your name?
Jonas.
And Betty Guggenheim, who was a child and was saved from here to the other side and in freedom. And she's here with her grandmother.
It's moving to see.
Yeah.
The way down naar Frank and heartbreaking. And you are another granddaughter? What's your name?
And we go here. So if you come please with me. Mr. President, if you will stand here. Here. And see. We are standing in the Hollandsche Schouwburg, which was a theater till 1940. Those are the family names of 6,000 families. At the time we made this wall, we didn't know all the correct names, so we decided to put the family names. They are all connected on the internet. You can search, you have an app on your mobile phone. When you walk through Holland, you can see where everybody lived. And this building stands as a witness. It was the Umschlagplatz. It's a witness to full integration till 1940, segregation till 41, horror in the time that these two people and some others were here. And they will tell you a little bit. First,
I imagine you can remember every moment vividly.
70 years ago.
Exactly to the day 70 years ago, the last transport left.
And we went into hiding.
Two?
Like we went into hiding, my husband and myself.
Were at the same place nearby Anne Frank, or
No.
in Amsterdam or elsewhere?
Well, a small place outside of Amsterdam, in the country.
And you?
I was taken to south of Holland, Limburg.
Taken by whom? You escaped yourself?
Students.
No, I escaped by the resistance, and they
The
took,
resistance? The
Yes.
tax resistance.
yes, and
Was that among the 5,000 Dutch people who saved Jews, right?
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
The righteous among nations, as we call them.
yes.
The righteous among nations.
Yeah,
Yes.
there were many in Holland.
Yes.
And of course,
5,000.
you remember the
5,000.
trees in Yad Vashem.
Yes.
With Yad Vashem, we collaborate to make this into a national Shoah museum and memorial. Now it's
Yes.
small, but we work no more.
We were.
And she wants to show where the name is of the family. So if you come please.
That's the permanent kind of.
My maiden name is Guggenheim. It's up there. It's higher. Guggenheim.
Yes.
And Mr. President, it's really a great honor to talk to you. This is my maiden name you saw. And just right now was the picture of my parents, Leon and Sarah. And I was their only child, 8 years old then. After a year of hiding at 11 different places, my parents and I were caught. My parents were taken here to this building, and I had to go in the crash across the street where all the children were kept. A day before the deportation in
How long have you been there in the shelter?
I think a week. I don't know. A day before the deportation in July 43, my parents were approached by a member of the resistance and were given the choice whether to take me along or to leave me with the resistance. My parents decided I would have a bigger chance to survive if I did not go with them. That same day, I was given a chance to see my parents here for a few minutes. And my mother instructed me strongly.
How old were you then, that day?
8.
8.
Yes. My mother instructed me strongly that I must go with a man in a beige raincoat who would give me a sign to follow him. So this happened the next day. And from that moment on, I was in the hands of resistance people. I was taken to the south of Holland, where I stayed for 3 years in a nice, lovely Catholic family.
At the same family all the time?
Yes. When the war was over, I was found by the only uncle who survived. He decided to place me with a Jewish family in Amsterdam. Mr. President, after a lot of thoughts, I concluded 2 things. First, that my parents loved me so much that they could take the decision to give me away to strangers, and by doing so, they saved my life. And secondly, that they must have had trust in other people. People like the resistance, and people like you who built Israel, and what a joy would they have and feel if they could see me here with you and my granddaughter Avital. Thank you, and all thank you together being here. It's a great honor.
Your 2 conclusions are really important. He did the truth, but in truth. Thank you very much.
Most welcome. Good help.
In 1941, Jewish students had to leave public schools. I was 17 at the time, and also I started working in the crèche across the street. Along with other girls, we took care of all the children that were brought in. I was in charge of the little children till 4 years of age. The director of the Schouwburg, Mr. Soeskin, together with the director of the crèche, Mrs. Pimentel, worked to get as many children as possible to safety. Betty Goudsmit, Fanny Felix, and I were 3 girls who were chosen by the director to participate in this action, to save the children. The 3 of us stayed day and night in the crèche. We had access to the Schouwburg, and one of our tasks was to approach parents, asking them to allow us to send their children to families who would care for them until they would be reunited. I said to the parents, would you consider leaving your child with us so we can take care that he or she could go to a loving family until you come back? He didn't know anything.
You don't know what happened to
No, he didn't know what it meant. Most of them said, no, we are young and strong and we will take care of our own children, and took them along. I told the parents, who gave permission, that at the end of the day I would bring them a doll wrapped in a blanket instead of their own child. Under the circumstances, they were to show the doll to no one. I said, tell them the baby is sleeping. And that way they had to go in the overflowing the trucks on their way to Westerbork. Some of the children were handed over the fence in the courtyard to people assisting Professor van der Hulst. Other children were taken for a walk around the corner at the end of the street, and we would give one of them to somebody who was waiting, somebody from the underground, to take the child. I told the child before, your uncle is waiting for you, he is a friend of your parents, and he will be very sweet and nice, and they have a nice family, and you can go with him on a trip. So to make it easy for the children to go. I don't have much time. As I said today, 70 years ago, yeah, that was the last deportation from the crash. There were still about 5 or 6 children.
En dan worden de Gestapo van de ouders wel weer aan.
And they went to Westerbork. Yeah. Because people believed, they heard only, you are going to camp to work in the east of Europe. Now a camp to work, a working camp, some people could live with that. And they wanted to take their children. They said, I can take my own children, take care of them. Nobody knew what was going to happen. Nobody.
How long were they staying with the family?
With the family? No, that was, the children who were staying with the family. If they went to the family, that was, they came in at 41, 42, 43. So, I don't know.
No, till the end of the
Some
war,
came
if
back.
they were saved.
No,
Many came, not all.
We ourselves stayed 2 years with the family.
God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rabbi Rosenberg, I would like you to come over for a Kaddish. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ילמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, וחייכון ויומכון וחיי לכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, אמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעולם ולעלמי המיה יתברך, וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי לקודשה בריחו. לאלה מכל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תאמירן בימה ואמרו אמן. יש שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים, עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, אמרו אמן. Mr. President, if you would lay the wreath, please. Mr. President,
is just one small portion. In 1942, Stella and her family were ordered to the theater building, the gathering point for the Jews being sent to their death in Auschwitz. A large part of her family was killed there, but Stella survived. Along with the remaining members of her family, she came to Israel to build her life anew. Stella's nephew, Joseph Avi Yair Engel, is with us today as a valued member of your team, the team of the President of the State of Israel. Today, Stella has returned to the same spot to be part of a memorial ceremony alongside the President of the Jewish state, and this is our victory over the Nazis. I would like you, Stella, and Yair, to light the candles.